Okay, this one is for a blister packaging. Blister. You can get away with bubble as well, I think. But blister. The way to remember is, you know those little pills that you get? They're called blister packages because they're like little blisters that the pills are in. So blister packaging, this is just a form of it. Used in all sorts of things. So when you go to the shops, sometimes you buy scissors and they're in blister packaging. Anything that has this kind of bubble, this battery one is a good example. Just while we're here, this is a Euro slot. This slot is called a Euro slot, obviously for slotting it onto a stand. We've got clear PVC plastic, we've got backing card, dead easy. Look, 2 marks you get for that, dead easy. Right, over here, here's what it's asking you to do. Use notes and sketches to show a different method of holding the 2 parts together. So we've got the blister packaging. It says a clear adhesive is used to make a permanent seal. Show an alternate. Now you've got to sketch it. So what I would say is you've got to be, look, it's 4 marks, so you've got to be quick. It's a 4-minute one. So what I'm going to do is, you could use staples, you could use sticky back tape, so double-sided tape. And what you want to do is just quickly, look, just kind of quickly sketch it. So we've got this kind of bubble on the top, and you don't have to draw the batteries. Why would you need to? It's just asks about the packaging. So I'm just going to draw that in quickly. I'm going to draw a little angle there. There's a little angle on the front, I can see it, there's a little angle there. Okay, and the only way you get good at this is by drawing, by practicing. You've got to remember I'm 40. So it's a bit easier for me. So there you go, I've just done it in roughly, and that probably took me about 30 seconds. I want to show the backing card underneath, so I'm going to keep it in line, look. Now, what I would say is, if you can't draw it in 3D, you just got to draw something. So don't worry if you can't draw it in 3D. You get full marks for communication. So here's the backing card, and what I'm going to do is, you could say, just have some floating tape, or you could mark it on here. So I'm just going to put a little bit of tape maybe just under here, double-sided tape, and I just label it, and I could run it down the edges maybe, thin amount, thin amount. You could also suggest that the plastic wraps around underneath, but I'm just showing you this way as well because it's an easy way. So I've drawn it out, and then all you do is label it. So we'd say backing card, we'd say blister PVC, okay, and then we'd say double-sided tape, and you'd get your full marks. So let's just see if we can, and you don't have to do this with pen, but I'm going to pen it up. Rotate your booklet around if it helps. We can give this a little bit of shading. And you might know I'm not even going to bother rubbing out the lines, I don't really need to. Okay, so we've got our blister pack. Let's do a Euro slot, spit off centre there, so I'm just going to move it across. There's my Euro slot. Probably not the best angle. And then for my tape, you could use a different colour to highlight it. You want to avoid the Euro slot there, so we'd have another one there, wouldn't we? Let's pencil that in quickly. And let's put some really thin tape down here. Okay. You could indicate that by just doing some light cross hatching. Remember, the point is to communicate clearly. So your drawing doesn't really matter, and I know it's easy for me to say because I've drawn it up and you can kind of get the idea, but it's about communicating. So we can communicate with notes. So we can say PVC blister, make them really clear and legible. I'm going to indicate the double-sided tape. I don't need to label the Euro slot, it's clear it's in there. And what do we call it over here? Backing card. Okay, let's label that up. Might do 2 arrows on here. And PVC. There we go, more than enough to get full marks there, full 4 marks. To be honest, if it was out of 6 marks, you'd probably get 6 marks for it. It's clear, it's obvious what's going on. You could add those dashed lines that we've added in previous drawings if you wanted to, just to show it's lining up. It probably should be labelled outside, but it doesn't matter. And there you go. One example of blister packaging and how it could join together. So just to finish off these questions here, name the process of forming a thin sheet of material to resemble the outline. It's a vac forming, like you used with your badges if you did the badges project. So the plastic gets sucked over the mould. Name a suitable material which can be used for the mould. Material for making mould, MDF. Always, there are loads of other options. Why would I use the MDF? Well, MDF, look, it's looking for 2 marks for 2 reasons. MDF is easy to cut and shape in a workshop, or mark. What else could you say? MDF is easy to get a smooth surface, which obviously means doesn't the PVC, so the PVC won't stick to the mould. Okay, apologies if there were any spelling mistakes there. There are loads of other answers that you could give as well. You might even get away with plywood, though it's not as easy to smooth. You could get away with plaster of Paris. You could make a mould out of. In industry, they'd probably make it out of stainless steel, but of course you wouldn't have access to that in the workshop.